Welcome, Sandra, to Quarantine TV.
Thank you very much, Claire. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. So it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and Sandra Harper, you're from Cotswold Mindfulness.
I am indeed.
Um, would you like to introduce yourself for anyone who hasn't come across you?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Sandra Harper. I live in Gloucester, and my business is Cotswold Mindfulness, and I also do some photography around using mindfulness practices.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been a driving instructor for 17 years.
Yeah.
And more recently, I'm using mindfulness practices within my driving school.
Yes. So this is really interesting. Because when I learned to drive, which was a really long time ago,
So a horse and cart.
it's like 30 years ago. Yeah, it was before the internal combustion engine was invented. Actually, I would have loved some. I would have loved some mindfulness. I found learning to drive quite challenging.
I did, massively.
So,
I think.
How do you incorporate mindfulness into your driving instruction?
Well, I guess doing this job for 17 years, you just see patterns unfolding. You see the same problems.
Yeah.
And quite often, people will say to me, I know what you're saying, I know what I've got to do, but my hands and feet just won't do it.
Yes.
Like they almost feel there's a disconnect.
Yes, absolutely. I remember
between what the mind is saying and what they're physically doing.
Yes.
And it just kind of occurred to me that it might be a really good idea just to do some grounding techniques.
Yeah.
So I've spoken to a few of them. I mean, some of them had never heard of mindfulness, and some of them are aware of it and have their own practices, whatever. And obviously, it's where appropriate.
Yes.
But the people I've spoken to, and I've made it a suggestion, they've all really benefited from it.
Amazing.
And it's been lovely. So now certain people get in the car, and before we even go anywhere, I say, would you like to do a practice? And they go, yeah, I'd love to. Because often, I think the problem is people come to a lesson straight after work.
Yes.
Straight from a busy household. They've got other things going on.
Yeah.
They're all up in their head.
Yeah.
And they don't have that time just to settle.
Yes.
To ground themselves, to make that connection. So we don't do it for that long. It's literally about 5 minutes. And I just get them to sit there and we just kind of go through what we can feel, what we can hear.
Yeah.
The sense of the floor under the feet, just feeling steady. We just kind of go through all those senses.
Yes.
And it just sets them up really from the beginning of the lesson.
Nice.
Just to be in a better headspace and just feel just a bit more connected with what they're doing. And it's really amazing actually, the difference. And sometimes, they might be having something to happen on a lesson and it'll stress them out or whatever. And so often I'll say, okay, let's just go and stop for a minute and let's just take a moment. And we do a few breaths, and it's really helped, and it actually helps me too.
Yes,
because it can be stressful. It's stressful for them. There's a lot going on. People can be, people can be very impatient. Sometimes I don't think they really realise. They forget. They've got very selective memories. They forget actually how hard it can be.
Yes.
So it's good for both of us just to take a moment and just kind of breathe. And self-compassion.
Yes.
That's what really we're giving ourselves. We're kind of just replenished in that. That focus and that getting ourselves back into that state of mind that's going to be much more beneficial, because you can't. It's really, really difficult to have a successful driving lesson when you're feeling mega stressed and everything just feels like it's happening too fast.
Yeah.
And you don't feel in control, and it can be really scary.
Yeah.
So it just sets them up from the beginning, really.
Yeah, brilliant. So, obviously it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and I have found myself this week that I have been more aware of my emotional well-being.
Yeah.
And yeah, and just more aware of not putting too many expectations on myself. So we thought we would talk about boundaries, self-compassion, as a route to kindness.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think it's a really good point and a point that Josh Connolly made this week, that unkindness often comes from a need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's interesting, like you saying the other day, you were having a day where you felt like you were getting burnout.
Yes.
And it's almost,
day.
Did you feel like the honey had left the field?
Yes, the honey had left the field. Yeah, I felt completely empty. Like I just couldn't imagine how I was going to get my energy up again. Like I had adrenal burnout.
Yeah, because, and that's the thing where mindfulness could be helpful, because if you think of it as that kind of analogy,
yes,
you could even think of it as you've got your honey pot and you're dipping your spoon, and there's a spoon for you, and there's a spoon for you, and there's a spoon for you. And if you're giving out your spoons, you don't notice, oh God, there's none left. There's none left for me. And all mindfulness does is it just helps you have that awareness to go, hang on, I'm just going to check in with my honey supply before I keep spooning it out. Oh, blimey, that's looking a bit low.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to kind of replenish that before I can start pushing it out again?
So true. And it's so easy during what is a stressful time, lockdown. Like everybody has additional stress. Whether it's stress from having to work differently, having to work more, not being able to work, stress about income. And I think that collective stress impacts us all. It's very much reflected in the media.
Yeah. And do you think people are being, the other thing as well I find is people are being very hard on themselves.
Yeah.
There's so much self-criticism. I mean, one of my friends who is very slim and beautiful was unhappy because she put on a little bit of weight, and she's kind of beating herself up about it. And we're all doing it, aren't we? We're like, I should be more productive. I should be making more of this time. I should be exercising every day, and I should be doing this, and I should be doing that. And we focus on all our perceived shortcomings.
Yes.
And yet we don't
on ourselves.
Yeah, we don't focus on the good things, do we?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're all our own harshest critics.
Yeah. Yeah, ridiculously so. And then that makes us feel more depleted, and then we've got even less to give.
Yeah. But like you saying about the boundaries thing, this is a really difficult one for a lot of people. Because a lot of people are really kind and caring for other people. They're bent over backwards for other people. And when you mention the word self-compassion and self-kindness, a lot of people are like, oh, it seems a bit namby-pamby, or it's just something that they just don't even want to go there. It feels really uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, often, and I know I've done this, I think a lot of people have, where you agree to something, and then you feel really resentful afterwards.
Yes.
So and then that manifests as anger and being a bit narky.
Yeah.
So actually, it all comes round that you're not necessarily going to give the best of yourself at the end of it, anyway. Rather than go, well, actually, somebody might ask me a question, instead of going, normally, I used to kind of go, somebody say, oh, do you want to do this on Saturday night? And I go, oh yeah. And my heart, my insides are going, no. No. And I'm going, yeah, I'm sure. And then I end up letting that person down.
Yeah, that's such a thing. Like saying yes and being able to feel the no really strongly, and just carrying on with the yes because, well, it would be nice, and maybe I should spend more time with that person. And
but it's listening to the no, isn't it? And then finding the words to kind of even say to somebody, do you know what? I don't really know about that, and I can't even tell you why. It's just something's playing on my mind. What's happening Saturday? I can't even tell you what it is right now. When do you need to know? And you're managing their expectations, and they might go, well, actually, don't worry, I'll ask Doris down the road. And you're like, fine. Or they might say, oh, it's all right, let me know Saturday morning, see how you feel. But you're managing their expectations, aren't you? And so they're not going to be narky with you, and then you're not there the next few days saying, oh, why did I say I go to this thing on Saturday? I really don't want to go.
And I like the idea of saying, I'm not sure about Saturday. Can I let you know?
Yeah.
Because I tend to be a very black and white person, so I'm all in or I'm all out.
Mm.
But actually saying I'm not sure about that, can I let you know? I mean, should that be new to me at my age with the amount of work I've done on myself? Well, it is. So thank you.
But even knowing that, even not needing an explanation, because sometimes we feel like we've got to give an explanation, like why I can't do that.
Yeah.
And then we can end up making stories about things and telling porky pies.
Or
But
being dramatic, being overly dramatic and exaggerating.
But I've got a really bad memory, so I don't tell lies because my memory's so bad.
Yeah, I can't do lies either.
No.
It's yeah, it just gets really messy.
But I know I respect people far more for just being honest with me.
Yeah.
And saying, do you know what, Sandra? I don't know if that's going to work for me.
Yes.
You know, and I'm like, fine, I know what I like to, with me personally, I like to know where I stand.
Yeah.
When somebody's, and you can tell, can't you? When somebody says, yeah, it should be all right.
Yes.
Again, if we really listen, we can hear they're going, I've got a doubt about this, but because we want it so much, we want them to do it so much, we disregard that. And then when they let us down, we're angry.
That's so
even though actually deep down we kind of knew, or we could have the generosity then, couldn't we, if we were be able to sense that discord with that person, to say, are you sure that's going to work for you? You know, if you want to let me know, and then we can be kind. We can offer kindness to that situation, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I was thinking about since Wednesday, because we were supposed to have this conversation on Wednesday. I woke up with a headache, cancelled my yoga, cancelled this, had a rest day and felt better.
Yeah.
So since then I've realised that actually the boundary for me to not get burnt down during lockdown is to actually, in my diary, write myself a day off every week.
100%.
When I'm not doing anything for anyone else.
Yeah,
that's my day. And I can see how I feel and do what I want that day and not have any commitments at all.
The thing is, even though what you're doing you love, you know, you love your yoga and you love your interviews, you love it, but you're still having to show up as the best version of yourself.
Yes.
And sometimes we just don't feel like doing that.
Yeah. And then on top of that, being a mum, being a grandma, being a daughter, and being involved in running an online retail business.
Yeah, that's it. We just need to be kind to ourselves and just recognise when we need a day off, you know, just for whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
And schedule it in.
Yeah.
Even during lockdown, schedule in some downtime when nobody's expecting anything from us and when they're available.
My problem is I've been having so much downtime, I think John thinks he's living with Gollum now. I am literally like a bag lady that shuffles around the house. Looking like she's lost something most days. So today I felt like I was on a date, Claire. My lipstick matches your couch.
Yeah, well coordinated there, Sandra.
Yeah. So I thought I'd make an effort. I even put some perfume on for you. So
I mean, I bought myself some Neal's Yard deodorant this week, and when I was buying it, I was like, why am I buying this? It's like, it's really expensive and nobody's going to smell me. But then I was like, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, exactly. What I think is really interesting, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who's been really having quite a hard time with the stresses of work and everything.
Yes.
On top of her. And I talked to her about sustainers and drainers.
Yes.
And she's like, what do you mean? I said, the thing is, it's like having the scales, you know, and if you're going drain, you know, you're constantly drained, like you just said, you know, you're giving, and the drainers are coming at you know, you identify what your drainers are, and those drainers are right at the forefront of your day every day.
Yeah.
How are you getting that balance?
Yes.
Like, how is that not tipping down to drain the whole time? You know,
absolutely.
how you, and like you said, like your sustainers.
Yeah. How do we sustain ourselves? Because all of our usual sustainers are unavailable to us, and that actually recreating our lives in a different way and not knowing how long for that is a really good practice in living in the day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's it. And some people don't even really realise what their sustainers are.
Yes.
They don't necessarily know. And it could be like, for me, it's really weird. It's almost like going back to my childhood. Things that I just did just because.
Yes.
I just did it because there was no reason. I didn't do it for anything other than I just liked it. It's like skipping, isn't it? It's like
skipping, doing cartwheels.
Yeah, like going back to your childhood, we did so many things as children just for the joy of it. It's about joy, isn't it? It's about expressing your joy and finding joy in things, and allowing for that. And this one friend said to me as well, she said, it's crazy, really. I love to dance, but whenever I'm in a situation where I want to dance, I feel so self-conscious I don't. But I said, that's almost like having somebody coming up, like imagining, well, first of all, imagining people are thinking these things, which they probably aren't in the first place.
Yes.
Even if they were thinking anything bad about you, it's like imagining they're coming up to you and going, stop expressing joy now. You're being far too joyful for me today. I'm really not liking this joy. You need to stop. And you go, oh, okay, sorry. Well, you wouldn't do that, would you?
No.
You wouldn't do it.
So it's a person. Yeah.
And it's funny, but it's all to do with the story we're making up, which you and I know all about.
Yes. Brené Brown talks about the story I'm telling myself is.
Yes.
The story I'm telling myself is that I'm not good enough and people laugh at me.
Yeah, that's right.
The story I'm telling myself is that I'm not lovable.
Yeah.
The story I'm telling myself is that I have to work harder for love.
Yeah, that's right.
I am love.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And we all do it, don't we? Like, when sometimes you're walking down the road and you'll be like, oh yeah, you'll wave at somebody, so-and-so over the other side of the street, and they ignore you, and your heart goes, and you think, oh my God. And now on a good day, you're like, obviously they didn't hear me.
Yes.
They have
something on their minds.
Yeah. On a bad day, oh my God, they really hate me.
Yeah.
What have I done to upset them? And then you're replaying all this stuff, and it can go on all day.
Every interaction you've had with them for the past 12 months. Did I say something to upset them? Was I positive? Have I let them down?
But it's understanding, it's the story in our heads, and it's not reality.
Yes.
That's the difference. It's been able to step back and go, hang on a minute, to yourself, hang on a minute, what's this about? And noticing that. That's the thing, isn't it? You become almost like the watcher.
Yes.
This is what mindfulness has taught me, to become the watcher. So I don't I don't start making up my own story where I'm the director, the lead actor. I'm putting on the show. I'm the star in my own story a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's able to step back and actually see it as maybe like from the audience perspective, like you feel a bit more separate. Yeah. And then it becomes a personal.
Yeah.
And doesn't give us so much pain.
Absolutely. Good morning, Jacqueline. Yes, it's what I find is that if I want to get into my creativity, I can be so harsh on myself that nothing I do is good enough. So then I won't bother. Like with aerial hoop, for example.
Yeah.
I try and do some stuff on aerial hoop and it's not good enough. But during this time of lockdown, I've realised that it's not about being good enough. It's about the experience.
Yeah.
It's about practicing. And if I keep practicing, I'll feel happier, more confident, stronger. And that it's not about being a professional performer. It's about being somebody who enjoys that form of movement, and just enjoying it and accepting what comes out.
That's right, and that's why I think it's so important to allow ourselves that freedom, because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't do things purely through fear of looking stupid or how they're perceived by other people.
Yes,
and it's kind of sad because life, it can be tough. And I know you're not going to get to the end of your life and go, I'm so glad I didn't do all that really fun stuff.
No.
so glad I didn't get up and do all that stuff that made. You're not going to do that, are you? You're going to regret not doing it.
And when I'm in doubt about doing something that is way outside of my comfort zone, I always think, well, how am I going to feel on my deathbed if I didn't give it a go?
Yeah.
And that's what I did with starting the markets, with opening the shop, with training to be a yoga teacher, actually teaching yoga, with practicing aerial in lockdown. It's like, well, how am I going to feel if I don't do it?
Yeah. Do you think a lot of it's to do with conditioning? Like, I think for a lot of people, the way they're brought up, expectations, perhaps.
I think so. I was thinking that earlier when we were chatting. I was thinking, I think it starts in school with this being good thing all the time.
Yeah.
And the way that the formal education system expects children to sit on a chair at a table. And then if you ever spend any time with children, you find that that's not a natural behaviour for children. A natural behaviour for them is to be curious, to explore, to be sociable, to experiment.
It's so true. And I mean, I don't have children, so I don't profess to be any kind of expert whatsoever. But I was listening to Brené Brown talking to Russell Brand the other day. It was so funny because he was like scribbling all these notes down. Obviously, he was loving what she was saying, but she was saying that as part of appropriate development, children at a certain age get a sense of separateness. They start to understand that I'm me and you're you. Yes. And that's when they come to a certain age. And that's why they start to rebel. So like, you're sitting down, I'm standing up. When you tell me to stay, I can move. And she said it's actually really important, although it's frustrating for the parent, it's a really important part of developmental person to learn that they have that independent mind.
Yeah.
And she was saying about managing it with choices, and following it through.
I love the way that she talks about that. And in anthroposophy, in the study of the readings of the writings of Rudolf Steiner, they call it the child developing their will. Where in Western society we tend to describe a child as being willful. They're willful, actually, they're actually developing their will.
Yeah.
And they're learning about their separateness, and it's to be encouraged because it forms the person, the personality there.
The other thing she said I thought was really interesting. It's like saying what you mean and mean it and follow it through. Because she said it's like the thing where, you've got a little kid and I want this, want, and you give in to them. So eventually they know that if they ask long enough, the expectation is that you'll give in.
Yes.
She said, well, where does that leave when they're a 16-year-old kid in the back of a car?
Yes, and I love what she said.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like the expectation is, if I go on long enough, they'll cave.
Yes.
If I put enough pressure on, they'll cave.
Yes.
And the other child has learned, well, eventually, where are my boundaries?
Yes. Yes.
Interesting stuff.
I love that podcast with Brené Brown and Russell Brand. I've listened to it several times, and we're reading Rising Strong, aren't we, at the moment?
Yeah.
Just with Opus book club.
Yeah. I'm just learning so much. It's quite funny actually, because I'm listening to the audiobook and I keep pausing it and then rewinding it 30 seconds, and I'm literally writing notes because I'm just like, it's speaking to me. I'm like, this is so true. This is so, oh my God, this is so good. And I'm like trying to jot it all down.
Yeah. I was reading some yesterday or the day before, and like Jessica says, it's like I just want to get a highlighter and highlight the whole page, because I think that I've got a good understanding, that I've done a lot of work on myself. I've been working on myself since my early 20s, doing personal development of one sort or another in various directions. And yet I read Brené Brown and I just have all these massive realizations, one after another.
Yeah. What I find has been really helpful, even before learning about Brené Brown with my driving school,
yes,
is And this is also something taken from, my brother gave me for Christmas the book, The Four Agreements. And the four agreements are be impeccable with your word. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Don't take anything personally, which is an important one. Don't make assumptions, which is an important one, and always do your best. Now, this has been so helpful to me, these notions, and obviously from Brené Brown as well, the story I'm making up is, because on a driving lesson, sometimes things will happen. People will do crazy things.
Yeah.
I used to be so incensed. And I feel a little, like I said, I'm not a mother, but I get quite maternal towards my pupils.
Yes.
If they're scared or upset, that bothers me, you know?
Yeah.
So somebody would do something, I'd be going nuts. I'd be like, for God's sake, you know, and I'd be so angry.
Like when that guy cut you up on that roundabout and nearly crashed into you, for example.
I mean, honestly, when you've been doing this job for 17 years, I mean, people do some, you'd be amazed at the things people do. It's quite shocking sometimes. And I come home and I say to my husband, I'd rant off to my husband and I'd be saying, oh, you know, this is getting all cross and upset about it. But what I've learned is, it's not personal. Don't take it personally, and don't make assumptions. So when somebody does something crazy, I mean, I'm human. It's not changed my personality. I'm a human being. And I've got that passionate response. But I'm able to step back and go, wow, they must be having a really bad day. What's going on with them? They're obviously, it's all about their situation and how they perceive the world. And if that's really dysfunctional, if their perception of the world is from a dysfunctional view, and obviously they're not going to behave in a way that's acceptable to me. And that little bit of compassion makes me feel better.
Yes. And the other thing is learning how the brain works. So understanding that when we experience something which the body takes as a trauma which creates fear, that we go straight into the fight, flight, freeze part of the brain. And that it takes effort to get out of there and come back into the prefrontal cortex, the good decision-making part of the brain. And that the people who don't have that understanding, they are living in that fight, flight, freeze. So they are angry and beeping the horn and making hand gestures, and they actually don't understand how the mind works.
100%.
So they're just being actually, they're just being human. Without,
to the best of they're being the best they can be to the best of their ability, which isn't, compared to maybe other people, what's considered to be the best of their ability. But for some people, they have big constraints and limitations on their ability.
Yes. Without the information of how to change that state.
Or even be aware of it, Claire. I think some people live in that angry state. That's normal for a lot of people.
Yes.
That's their normal.
The adrenaline's addictive.
But this is where meditation was so beneficial for me, because like you just said, you know, you're strengthening the part of the brain, the rest of the digest part, which is the antidote to the fight, flight, freeze. And you're building those neural pathways. And it's so funny because I would notice after meditating, after I've been doing it for, I don't know, however many months it was, something would happen and I'd almost be like going, oh, I'm actually I've noticed myself not getting angry. I'm not actually feel okay about that. I'm not going to get like, oh, what's happening? You know, this is weird. When did that happen?
And I have found, during lockdown, found it really difficult to sit and meditate. But I recently found a Facebook group. I can't remember what it's called now, but I'll post it in the comments. I can't remember.
I'd love to hear about that. I mean, the thing is that for a lot of people, I think a lot of people would agree. A lot of people have preconceived ideas about meditation, or they just think they can't do it. But I mean, it kind of made me laugh. You know, that Ricky Gervais program, Afterlife. I mean, I love it and it's hilarious. But I was a bit like, oh, please don't show you this. You know the bit where he shows that he goes to this meditation class and it's just ridiculous. It's subliminal.
And he tells the teacher to fuck off.
Yeah, it's
I really liked that.
oh, I just thought, but what I thought was they're showing, because a lot of people think that's what meditation's like, and it's not.
No, a lot of yoga teachers are like that, though.
But a lot of
I'm
them,
a yoga teacher. I loved it because a lot of teachers are like that.
no. What I thought, what my point was that a lot of people have that idea, and
Okay,
that's it.
yeah.
That's it. The story they're making up is
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way.
meditation is for sandal wearing hippies. That's not what I mean to.
Who talk shit?
Yeah. A lot of people think that, and that's what I thought. It's a shame because I love. Don't get me wrong, it's a funny program. I love the program,
Yes,
but on that particular, I thought you're feeding in to that stereotype. You know, it's a bit any stereotype. It's a bit like yawn. It's a bit, and so many people buy into that stereotype that they don't even want to look at it.
Yes.
And I know
it's not accessible to them.
No, because of their own constraints, their mental constraints.
Okay.
Of their conditioning, and people, their family and friends going, all that weird stuff. I mean, it makes me smile because I talk to friends and I talk to people at the driving test centre sometimes about mindfulness and meditation. A lot of them don't know what it is, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And then you talk to some people and they've got a bit of an idea and they look at you like, oh, you're obviously a bit weird then. You know, and it makes me smile. But I just think it's a shame. I think it is, for me, it's been life-changing, and even to the point of managing physical pain. I mean, I shoot weddings as well, as you know. I'm a videographer. I film weddings. Now, I used to have to take painkillers to get through the day.
Yeah, that's
because chronic back pain.
Incredible. Yes.
Chronic back pain, cocodamol and ibuprofen all day.
Wow. Every time you did a wedding?
Every time I did a wedding, I'd be in chronic pain. It was unbelievable. And generally, if I was standing up, if I went to a music gig or anything like that, if I was standing for a long period of time, I'd really suffer, really struggle. And after I've discovered mindfulness and meditation, the last 4 or maybe even 5, I'd say at least the last 4 weddings, I haven't needed to take painkillers.
Wow. That's incredible, isn't it?
It is incredible, but I tell you what it's about.
So the physical pain was created by the mind?
The physical pain was created by muscle tension that I wasn't aware of.
Wow.
So I'm so tense because obviously when you go and shoot a wedding, you got to be in the right place at the right time. There is no rehearsal.
Yes.
The director, the shooter, the sound guy, you're all that stuff, and it's hard. If anyone's ever shot a wedding by themselves, anyone filmed a wedding by themselves, they'll understand what I'm talking about. It's not easy, and I find it quite stressful. So I'd be like so tense.
Yes.
And this tension and anxiety was manifested in my body as pain, physical pain. And it also in the car, I'd get chronic shoulder pain when I was teaching people to drive, chronic pain.
From muscle tension as well.
Muscle tension. So I, with the mindfulness and the meditation, I just noticed it was getting better and feeling better. And don't get me wrong, it's still there. I think, like a lot of people, I'm 50 years of age, and like a lot of people, I've got probably degenerative changes.
Yeah.
But and I'm aware of it, but it's not all consuming, and I can be aware of it, but I'm not having to take painkillers for it. So I think I might have to sort of bend forwards and just stretch slightly a couple of times. The difference, meditation for me it's not just about managing anxiety and stress, which has been really, really beneficial, but it's the physical manifestations of anxiety and stress.
Yeah.
Because I don't like a lot of people, I know there's a place for medication, obviously, for certain people with pain. Obviously, I'm not going to say don't, stop taking your medication. I'm not saying that. But for me, it wasn't okay to think, right, I'm just going to have to take medication now forever if I'm going to have to stand around for long. This isn't okay for me.
Yeah, and there is a massive addiction to pain medication in the States, isn't there? And here. Yeah, that's really interesting that just by training as a mindfulness practitioner and learning to observe your thoughts, that you have freed yourself from the use of, from having to use pain relief every time you do a certain job.
Because now I can notice, because I'm so much more aware. It's like, for me with mindfulness, it's about, a lot of people think, oh, it's just about noticing the flowers and the trees, which it is to a degree, but it's noticing the external landscape, but it's noticing the internal landscape. And that's the bit that a lot of people find difficult.
Yes.
And that's what's been so beneficial for me, is being able to notice and be in touch with that internal landscape and noticing that tension starting to manifest before it gets to the point where I'm in serious pain with it. And also doing yoga stretches in the morning. Like I say, I do my mindfulness. I do a meditation in the morning. I write a gratitude diary.
Yeah.
I try and take in the good.
Yes.
Rather than focus on the negative. And it's about filling the jar.
Yeah, absolutely. Fill that honey jar.
The honey-filled jar.
The honey-filled jar. Practicing gratitude is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
For happiness and contentment. Rather than looking at what other people have got and comparing. Even and especially during lockdown, I feel so grateful for so many things.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go on.
And that gratitude means that I can enjoy my day.
And it's what I find quite a useful thing to do sometimes is taking in the good.
Yes.
And that is, so for example, somebody might upset you, like a close friend, or somebody might say something hurtful.
Yes.
And so you focus on that and you think, oh, they've always been a bit mean and they've always been a bit sarky and they do that, and you all the negative.
Yeah.
And then, you go more into that story.
Yeah.
Rather than they've done that, noticing how you feel, that really hurt.
Yes.
What's all the positive stuff about that person that they're a real laugh, they're really fun, they're really kind. You think of all the positive things, and by the time you've done that, again, it comes back to that balance, doesn't it? The scales. And then you're bringing your scales back into line a bit more, rather than not having all that.
And maybe they're having a shitty day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Especially at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. And that's, like I said, with the driving and everything, I'm far more able now to think to myself, what's the kindest reason I can come up with that behaviour?
Yeah.
What's the kindest thing I can think of that's happening for them? Because I have no clue what's going on for that person.
Yeah.
I have no clue. They could be rushed into the hospital themselves.
Yeah.
Driving like an idiot, because what's going on for them. I don't know what's going on for them. I can make assumptions, but nobody knows. And I know it's a real cliched old phrase, but until you've walked a mile in somebody else's shoes, you really have no idea what's going on for them, do you?
Yeah. Fierce compassion, you call it.
Well, fierce compassion is about this. I guess there's different ways of looking at it. There's compassion for the self, and like you just said, it's noticing when you're getting depleted and sustaining yourself, having compassion and kindness for yourself to enable you to then offer that out to other people. And fierce compassion, I think, is about boundaries.
Yes.
And having the wherewithal to go, actually, that's not okay for me. And noticing how that feels, that's not okay for me. I'm not prepared to accept. That's fierce compassion for self, which then stops the resentment. And just fierce compassion, I guess, with what's right and wrong. You see fierce compassion around things with there's all sorts of things that happen in life that we get really passionate about. That's fierce compassion because we care. We care so much, And if people didn't care, then nothing would ever change, would it?
Yeah. So in your mindfulness practice, you offer training to people and workshops?
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to be running a course. It's just coming up at the moment. It's actually called the Compassionate Mindful Resilience course.
Nice.
This is through Mindfulness UK. So Karen Atkinson, who owns Mindfulness UK, has been a mindfulness teacher for many years, and most people will be very familiar, if they know anything about mindfulness, about the 8-week MBSR course, which is mindfulness stress reduction. And Karen has basically taken all the bits of that course that she has felt, in her opinion, that have been the most transformative for people, making the biggest changes for people, the things that she's found have really helped, and she's condensed it into a 4-week course, which at the moment, I mean, particularly after this, I think it's going to be so beneficial, because there are so many people caring for other people, and people are going to experience burnout, and compassion fatigue, unless they learn the tools, to self-sustain. So the course is basically, it's 4 parts, and for some people it might feel a little bit more accessible than maybe committing. An 8-week course is fantastic. I've done it, the 8-week course, a couple of times actually. It's great, really, really beneficial. But this could be almost like a first step for people perhaps that don't know much about mindfulness, that would like to have an introduction to mindfulness and compassion, and they may then want to go on and do other aspects of the course, the MBSR or whatever. But we explore cultivating emotional resilience, developing resilience, and feeling resourced and connected. So develop emotional intelligence, and throughout, and with the course comes downloads. There's going to be meditations and other practices and exercises that we can try. But you're getting yourself a little toolbox. Things that you've got your go-to things of being able to, first of all, recognize what's going on for you. The starting point, which a lot of people are just conscious from the neck up. They don't go for what they're feeling, do they? So it's noticing what's going on for you, and then having the tools to sort of navigate your way through that. Have you ever heard of the acronym RAIN?
No.
So with mindfulness, RAIN stands for recognize, and then it's accepting and allowing what that is, investigating what that is, and then nurture. And you're looking at your sustainers. Well, what do I need? What do I need to best manage this situation? There's things like that. So there's acronyms, and it's just a lot of information. Like I say, it's just a toolkit and practices that we work through over 4 weeks. It's 2 hours a week over 4 weeks, and I'm going to be doing that imminently. I'm just waiting for some final resources through from Mindfulness UK, and I'm going to be doing it on Zoom.
I was going to say, is this going to be available on Zoom so people can do it during lockdown?
Yeah. So it will definitely be available on Zoom. And also the other thing, of course, that you know about is the mindfulness photography, which has been brilliant. I've got Cotswold Mindfulness Photography Group. We've got 200 members now, and it's just been lovely. It's been we've done a couple of assignments. So every week I just suggest different things like around mindfulness attitudes. And just encouraging people to get out and take pictures. And I can sense a lot of people that this is new to a lot of people. And so many people now are like waking up to nature. Isn't it?
Yes, it's a kind of sensory deprivation, I feel. Our lives have become, for a lot of us, very much more restricted. And we're seeing very, very few. My phone is just ringing and ringing and ringing. I don't know why. I usually switch it off during these times. We're seeing fewer people. We're seeing less environments. We're having less experiences. So that when we go out into nature, we are very much more observant and maybe more appreciative.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, it's just it's so good sometimes just to put the phone down. And I think maybe more people are starting to do that. They're putting the phone down and engaging maybe with the people that they're around every day. Because we're all yearning for that connection, aren't we? We can't see our friends and our family. We're yearning for that connection. So the people that you're sharing your household with, I guess connecting on a deeper level, because before, you know, some people, I know, I'm like with my husband, sometimes the pair of us were sat there looking, and I'm like, oh, hello, you're still here, you know, you kind of you get engrossed in what you're doing, don't you?
Yeah, and for those of us who are isolating alone, I feel it's quite challenging to maintain connection with others in a meaningful way. Although, of course, now it's possible to go out and meet somebody and go for a walk or do some sort of activity.
But you know what? I don't know about how you find this, Gleb. I've felt more connected to so many people since this than I did before.
Yeah.
And I think it's the effort part of it.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I mean, I know you and I've had some conversations recently.
Yeah.
But my family, we don't tell each other we love each other in my family. It's just something we just don't do it. It's just, you know, my grandmother was the same. It's just, we all do love, don't get me wrong, everybody, we're a very loving family and it's fine. But we've started saying the words now and it feels weird. It feels so weird. But I can't risk one of these people not being here in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
And I've not said it.
Yeah. Amazing.
It's hard when it doesn't come naturally, but we had the conversation. Isn't it funny how we don't say, you know?
Wow.
And we kind of do it like end of every call, like love you, you know.
That's so great.
Yeah, funny.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 3 aspects that you're going to cover on the Zoom course, which we will post a link to that in the comments when it's available. What are the 3 aspects that people are going to cover?
So it's exploring and cultivating emotional intelligence.
Exploring and cultivating emotional intelligence.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, so we're learning about mindfulness, what mindfulness is, first of all, obviously. Learning what mindfulness is. Exploring and cultivating emotional intelligence. How is it? What am I seeing here? You know? And then developing resilience and feeling resourced.
Developing resilience and feeling resourced. I love that.
Connected. And let me show you a picture actually, because I saw this the other day. Try and get this super duper quick. But I just wanted this is a good illustration of emotional intelligence. When you look at that, what do you see?
A Victorian woman.
With
her hair back and like a little mop cap on.
Do you see the old lady?
No, not at all.
Do you see?
Oh yeah, I do know.
You see the old man with the wart on it and the big chin?
I do know. Yeah.
Yeah. I got that just as an example.
Amazing how our perception can alter what we see.
Exactly. And that's why, and this is going to be one a lot of people recognize actually. One more. Hold the line, please, caller. Oh, that one.
Yes. Is it a vase or is it 2 faces?
Yeah. But that, I just thought they illustrated so well.
Yes.
The idea surrounding emotional intelligence, as in, well, how intelligent are we, really? Yeah. What's real and what's not real? What are we making up?
Yeah. And then it comes on to, can I trust myself? Once I'm in touch with what I'm feeling, am I going to trust that feeling?
Yes.
And that's where the boundaries come in.
Yeah.
Because once I can trust my feeling, then I can say no if my gut says no.
Yes, that's right. And this is something I've kind of been learning about myself very recently, actually. And that is, I mean, it's funny, I almost want to burst into song, listen to the heart. But I have to listen to my heart. But,
yeah,
you know, like a block, you know you want to do something. At the end of the day, I was thinking, I came back upstairs, I let the dog out, and I thought I really should do a little bit of yoga. And my head was going, I really can't be bothered. I want to get back into bed. I can't be bothered to do some yoga.
Yeah.
But I thought, hang on a second, check in with what's actually going on in here.
Yes.
And I couldn't get back up the stairs quick enough to do some yoga.
Brilliant.
It was really weird because my body was going, no, you need to do that, but my head was going, no, I can't be bothered. It was almost like a bit of a different. It was really strange, but I've really started to do that lately. Instead of thinking analytically, which a lot of us do, analytically trying to compartmentalize and trying to label and trying to understand, to actually just sit with it and go, hang on a second, how do I really feel about this?
Yeah.
What does it feel? And unless you often we just don't do it, do we?
Yeah. And how am I going to feel after I've done it?
For me, yeah. And also, like you said about the trust thing, because I often get that. It's like, what should I do about this? And what should I do about that? Situations come up and you think, I just don't know what to do for the best. But I've learned now to just sit and literally just listen. Because I think if you do listen, often you'll know, even if it's on a subconscious level, you do know. Sometimes you don't want to look at it. Sometimes you don't want to numb it and you want to run away from it. If it's ugly, you want to run away. You don't want to look at it. But if you're actually honest with yourself, all you're doing by running away or numbing is you're perpetuating that.
Yes.
It's not going to go away.
Repeating the same patterns.
Yeah.
Never giving yourself a chance to evolve as a person.
Yeah. And heal.
Yeah.
And then once you
go on.
Yeah. And when you know, and it's having the tools and the resources to do that. And people can't be expected to know this stuff by themselves. You know, that's why it is useful to have different things to fall back on, you know.
Absolutely,
it's different things to different people.
Yeah.
For me, I can just speak from experience. Mindfulness has changed my life.
Yeah.
And my husband will vouch for that.
I mean, different life is with you.
Another thing, I don't want to sort of go on too long, but another thing I've found lately is non-violent communication.
Oh yes, I'm really interested in this.
Really, really interesting, yeah. So the other week we had a quiz online, and it was close friends. I've known them for a long time, and I was just making up the questions for my round. I was just like, I'll just make up 10 questions. Anyway, I got to question 3, and my mind went blank. So I'm going to John. Give me a question, quick. Just give me a question. Being quite snappy. Give me a question. And he was trying to look something up, and he was like, stop being so bossy. Stop telling me what to do. And I wanted to go, and these are old friends. In the past, I probably would have just fired off at him,
Yeah.
But I didn't. And afterwards, I kind of thought about it, and I realised what was happening was I was saying, I'm feeling really vulnerable here. I don't know the next question. I need your help.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that. I was panicking, and that's how it came out.
Yeah.
So there was 2 ways he could have taken it. He could have seen that I was panicking and reaching out to him and gone, okay, let me, maybe thought of a question, or took it personally, like I was having a go at him and told me off. And I don't expect him to, we're all human. I get it. I snap at him. But I told him about it and my thought process, and he went, yeah, I understand what you mean. And he could understand what I was saying. But sometimes that anger and frustration, when somebody's angry and frustrated, it blurts out as an angry statement, but often it's saying, please help me.
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
It could have gone another way. It could have gone like, how dare you speak to me like that in front of my friends?
It would have done before. It would have 100% it would have done before. I'd been like in front of our friends, I would have gone like, don't speak to me like that.
Yeah.
It would have probably would have been a row.
Yeah, and what a different way of communicating.
Yeah, and now what I'm understanding and learning now is he needs to know what it's explaining to the other person what your needs are.
Yeah,
isn't it? And a while ago, I was trying to park the van, and he was standing on the curb, and he was shouting directions to me, but they weren't working for me. So normally, in the past, I'd have gone, for God's sake, whatever. I would have got cross. But I didn't. I went, John, what I need you to do is come around this side.
Amazing.
That'd be really helpful if you could do that. And he did it, and it was fine. Because I was able to recognise this isn't working for me.
Yeah.
It's irritated me. What do I need?
Yes, what do I need, and how can I express my needs
Yes.
to the other person in a way that they can fulfill those needs easily in the place that they are, physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
And then we
And
both, neither of us feel attacked
yeah.
or degraded.
Yeah.
And the van gets parked.
Yeah, exactly. And it's remembering the kindness thing, because when you love somebody, when you share your life with somebody and you love each other,
Yeah.
you know, you don't want to be horrible, but we can be, all of us have got that within us to be quite nasty and quite, you know, our exchanges can be quite horrible.
Yes.
But when you think about it and you think, well, what, I want this person to succeed, I want this person to do well.
Yes.
It's so much better if you can communicate in a non-violent way.
Absolutely.
It leads to more. And we're lucky. I mean, don't get me wrong, we don't typically row. We used to be quite bickery.
Yeah.
But we don't really row. We've never really had a big falling out, to be honest. So we're very lucky. But we're having a very harmonious time at the moment. And I think it's more to do with my ability to not get cross with him, because I was the one, not John. He's very, you know, so laid back, he's horizontal.
Yeah, he was
that much really, and it was always me that would be going, John, yeah, getting my hair off about things.
Yeah.
Rather than going, do you know what? I feel this is really bothering me. It's making me feel a bit whatever that emotion is.
Yeah.
Really, how can we kind of work this out? What can we do to help?
Yes. And if everybody was to learn those skills, then life would be a lot more harmonious.
Yeah.
Like as we learn these skills, it ripples out, doesn't it, in our life?
Oh, massively. And I know it really does, you know, and I've made friendships, or I've made new friendships with people, and I've rekindled old friendships. You know, when you know, just the ability to understand people more.
Yes.
You know, we can all take that moral high ground when people do things that we don't care for, or they say things we don't care for. We all do it.
Yeah.
We take the moral high ground. But actually, if you can, and it's not easy to stand back sometimes.
Especially at the moment, because there are so many different points of view and so few facts in life at the moment. Like everyone's got a point of view, but there's no point of reference there.
No, that's right.
And it's really easy to potentially fall out with people over their points of view.
Yeah.
I loved actually what somebody said this morning. Be prepared to be somebody who isn't liked.
Yes.
I love that.
That was me saying that, because do you remember this was yesterday, we had a conversation.
Yeah.
And I said to you, the trouble is, Claire, a lot of the time people don't like it when you're that upfront, because authenticity is more difficult than smoothing somebody's ego, making somebody else feel better. It's easier to
and also a coach in America wrote that on his Facebook this morning, Jeff. As well, so that must have reinforced that thought for me.
Yeah, but it is very true. I think sometimes, going back to the boundaries thing, it doesn't always make you popular.
No,
it being boundaries, people don't like it.
If you look at the most successful people, then they have a lot of unpopularity. People are very, very unkind about successful people. There's a kind of culture of being entitled to judge successful people harshly. But they don't think, oh, I'll give up being successful so that everybody likes me then.
Yeah.
Like it's like the more you put yourself out there, the more you're going to be experiencing criticism. And those people are entitled to criticize.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's understanding, but it's not taking it personally, because they're from a place where they've got learned behaviours within them and learned patterns and the values they've been brought up with, or whatever. Same for anything, isn't it? It's like it says in the 4 agreements, you know, about not taking anything personally and not making assumptions, because most of the time, when these difficult things happen, most of the time it's not about us.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
It's about the story, isn't it?
It is about the story. I took my 7-year-old grandson down to the local co-op yesterday on his scooter, which is quite an adventure at the moment. There are so many decisions to make on that little journey about crossing the road to give people space so that they feel safe. So we were zigzagging, crossing, so that people feel safe because we're not sharing the pavement with them. And then when we get there is a pedestrian walkway, but there's someone on it. So I chose to negotiate the car park with the 7-year-old on a scooter rather than the walkway. Then we have to decide where to leave the scooter. Then I have to explain to him, okay, in this shop at the moment, we have to follow the arrows. Why? Well, we just do.
We're still all right.
We just do. It's just how it is at the moment. I can't really explain. So we have to follow the arrows. And we also have to try not to get too close to people. Why do we? Well, we do. And as we're walking around, there are people who completely don't mind us getting close. By close, I mean within 6 or 8 foot. And there are people who really need a lot of space around them.
Yeah.
And then, the thing is with 7-year-olds, you can explain these new rules to them. I don't explain why, because I don't want them to be filled with fear.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say that's just how it is at the moment. It's very strange for us all. Life.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's like it's understanding a lot of things that are going on. It's all, again, it's around fear. I know a lot of people find it difficult with the neighbours curtain twitching or whatever, or somebody leaving notes on a car, or people being a bit authoritarian, a bit headmastery about it all.
A bit like the school prefects.
Yeah, but you know what? It again, I'm able to stand back mostly and think, well, you can see it. Usually, it's about fear, isn't it? It's about fear and control, and about feeling safe.
Yeah,
people like to have
feeling safe and in control.
Yeah, and that's
the whole situation feels so out of control.
Yeah, and that's why people make up stories, because that's how we used to survive as cavemen. If a saber-toothed tiger jumped from around the back of behind a bush,
yes,
you could then go out and you're like, right, where's all the bushes? And you make up a story because you have to compute, you have to have a level of understanding as to where the dangers are, and that's why we make up stories, because we've got that negativity bias, haven't we, to survive?
Yeah.
So we're always looking for the negative.
Yes.
Always looking for the negative. It often stems from whatever that is that person's doing. It often stems from a place of fear.
Yeah, and overcoming that negativity bias is really hard work.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, because we're hardwired for it. But again, it's coming back to the idea that thoughts aren't. We aren't our thoughts.
Yeah, we aren't our thoughts.
We are not our thoughts. They are just our thoughts. They're not real. Like, this is all real right now, is me sat in this room talking to you.
Yeah.
Nothing else is real right now. It's a bit scary when you think of it like that.
Yeah, nothing else is real. The only reality is how I feel in this moment now.
Yeah.
I find that a really reassuring thought.
Well, you have you what, sorry?
I find that a really reassuring thought.
Well, do you know what? I listened to The Power of Now on a flight to New Zealand. I listened to it on the way there and on the way back. It's 7 hours. I listened to this. That was so impactful, because it was the first time in my life I'd actually had that moment of, like, it was a bit of an epiphany. Like, oh my God, like, the only thing that is real is right now. And that was like, oh my God, I never thought of that before.
Yeah. I did this Vipassana meditation 10-day course I guess I was in my 20s, I guess. Yeah, I would have been in my 20s. And 10 days of sitting, meditating, focusing on the breath. No eye contact, no reading, no talking, no communication. And And I really learned that. And the teacher, Goenka, he always says, everything is arising to pass away. Arising to pass away. Everything is temporary.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the thing. That's why it's so good to remember when something does happen that upsets you, is to think, what will I think about this tomorrow?
Yeah.
What will I think about it next week? What will I think about it next month? And what will I think about it next year? And next year it'd be like, what will I think about what?
Yes. What will I think about what? Yeah.
But people make life-changing, people do life-changing things, you know, that can affect people for the rest of their lives on a split second.
Based on
A moment's anger.
a feeling and a thought. Yes. And yeah, and
Like
learning
acts of violence, for example.
acts of violence, yeah. So
like sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Go on. No.
Go on. But learning to have some control over our thoughts and feelings. It gives us so many choices in our lives.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, having the choice to, when somebody upsets somebody, you know, people get injured, don't they? And it's just a split second reaction. Somebody's not thought about it and they've reacted, and then they've got the rest of their life to regress it.
Yeah.
And whereas if they didn't do anything, that would be a what thing, like next year. Like what thing that person said to me last year. Well, what person cut me up in the car? When did that happen? You wouldn't remember it.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Anyway,
anyone who's interested in coming to your course, we will put a link in the comments for them.
Yes, that'd be lovely. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Yeah, it's 4 weeks, and it's free for NHS staff.
Oh, amazing.
Moment. So yeah, if anyone's interested.
So I've got a friend who's a firefighter, and she always says, "What about the firefighters?"
Well, at the moment, I to be honest with you, anybody that's firefighter or police officer, if they feel that they need it, I'd be happy
emergency services.
Yeah, emergency services. Yeah, I'm happy. I just want to, I guess, really, for me, I mean, I know you must feel like this with the yoga.
Yeah.
You learn, you feel so many benefits from these things, and you learn so much, and you just want to share it. That's really, I just want to share. I want other people to be able to feel better.
Absolutely. And I benefit so much from helping other people, like by teaching yoga every morning. There has not been one morning when my alarm has gone off at 5:45 during lockdown. And I thought, yay, I'm teaching yoga, because every morning I'm like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. I would stay there until 11 o'clock. But I get up, I have a shower, I get ready, I'm there, I greet everyone, I teach yoga, and by the end of that, by 8 o'clock, I feel fantastic.
And you know that you're doing, that they're going to benefit. And that's it, isn't it? It's wanting to share. Just wanted to share these things with other people, really. Yeah. So yes, there's that. And if anybody's interested, I do run mindfulness photography courses as well. I've done a couple up at the Matara Centre, which incidentally has an open garden right now for free, but you have to book online and book a slot for social distancing purposes. But I'd highly recommend Matara for just to stroll around the grounds or as a wedding venue. That it's just, I just love it, and they're fantastic up there as well. So I've helped
place to meet a friend for a distance stroll.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And they're so lovely up there. And so it's a shame really, because it would have just been lovely to do more over the summer, the mindfulness photography workshops that we've been doing up there. But if anybody is interested in photography as well, we've got a mindfulness photography group. So if you like to go out and take photographs of nature, we'd love to see your images as well. So come and check us out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. What a lovely natter we've had.
I know, as ever. Yeah. No, we do, don't we? We often put the world to rights, don't we, Claire?
Put us in charge.
I don't think I want to be in charge.
That's the trouble. The people who anyway, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Yeah, thanks for having me anyway.
Let's put in the comments for people.
Yeah, I hope that some of what we've been talking about has resonated with people or been some help anyway.
Too.
Lots of love for everybody.
So lovely to talk to you, Sandra.
You too, Claire. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye for now. Bye.